Let's get right to it. UC Davis head football coach Tim Plough. Last week, win, lose, whatever, we're going to have a conversation. This week, like butter. I know it's never that easy, but big bounce-back win for our dear friends over at UC Davis. And, of course, I want to remind you, you can always hear all of their games right here with Scotty the Body Marsh on the call, right here on Sactown Sports. Coach, good morning.
Guys, how we doing?
Doing great.
Doing awesome. How are you?
Oh, awesome, man. Getting still grinding away and seeing if we can figure out a way to get another win this week.
Yeah, I was talking to Jason about that yesterday. Now it's the time where we go through, polls and all that. And I said, look, back in the day, I used to root for Sac State over UC Davis all the time because I'm a Sacramento kid in the Causeway Classic. I said, but we've grown so close with Coach Plough. I said, I don't know what to do this year. And then just looking at everything, I went, okay, well, you got Montana State this weekend. Let's not look too far ahead. That's kind of a big game on the road, but nice to get a win over you split the state of Idaho. Nice to get a win. Were they the Vandals, right?
They are,
Idaho
good job.
Vandals.
Yeah.
And now, boy, you got your work cut out for you on ESPN 2 this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, first off, personally, for me as a head coach, I think that's the 24th game I've been a head coach, and that game this past weekend was the most rewarding win for me. I just was really, I was just so proud of the team. We had a embarrassing, difficult loss at home, kind of shocked our system. And you just never know how the team's going to respond. You're hoping you're saying the right things. You're hoping that the environment and the culture, can help your team respond. And, we just played with so much love for each other, so much joy. You could tell our coaches kept talking about it was the most fun game they've ever coached. And, for us to go up there after that loss and play the way we did and win the game on the road, I just thought was a really, really cool moment for the program, but personally for me, just to see our guys respond, that's life, man. The best part of life is how you respond when things don't go right, and that was really cool. So I was really proud of the team, proud of the staff, and that win gives you a chance now where this game means something, and now you got to go up there and try to shock the world.
Coach, hearing you say that, how rewarding that victory was for you and the staff and the players. Coaches will often say, well, you kind of learn more in losses. It sounds like that might have been a case here. The loss to Idaho State, you wanted to see the response. You thought it would happen, but then it did happen, and the way you guys played. Is that one of the cases where you felt like your group learned a lot from the loss at home?
No doubt. I mean, I always tell the team we either win or we learn. That's kind of my thing, and hopefully you can do both. I mean, that's kind of the hope, is that you're winning and you're learning at the same time, but I always try to tell them, detach from the results, man. We're either going to win games or learn games, and I thought we did learn a lot about us and kind of the mistakes that we can't make, especially the razor's edge that we're at right now with the roster and the injuries. And but man, we only took 58 guys to the game. You're allowed to take as many as you want. We only had 58 guys that were healthy enough to go into a football game. And, so for us to show up like that and play as well as we did, I just was really, really touched by the Aggie pride and the belief those guys had in each other. It was a very, very cool moment.
Speaking of very, very cool moments, Coach, last week you had said what a lot of coaches say after a loss, I've got to do better. It stops with me. And we said, you weren't making tackles or missing tackles or, throwing a pick or fumbling or whatever. So, what did you do wrong? And no disrespect, you always give us straight answers, but, I expected a general answer, a philosophical answer. And you proceeded to basically lay out like 20 things specifically that you felt you did wrong, to the point where our audience, and in fact, someone, she texted in and said, could you tell me where to hear that? I want to play that for my kids. That's all about accountability. When you look at last week to this week, and I know obviously the team corrected things, but Do you also, are you able to give yourself personal credit and your staff personal credit for acknowledging, hey, we maybe didn't get this right, but we fixed those mistakes within the week?
Yeah, I think the main thing that the lesson that was important for me to learn is just the messaging to the team. We really focused on, man, we got to enjoy every moment here. And it sounds funny to say to you guys because, I tell you guys every week, it's like, hey, let's find joy this week. And that is the center, like the center of our pyramid is find joy every day. And I felt like our biggest mistake I made as a leader is, we were really focused on kind of, only football and only scheme stuff. And our guys felt maybe stressed, felt anxiety, and didn't play free. We always talk about playing free. And so we kind of came in on Monday when we met as a team and I just told them, hey, I just want you guys to take today like it's the best day of your life until tomorrow, right? And let's find joy back together and just play together, love each other. And if we can do that and stay focused on the things that we got to do to, play better, tackle better, be more physical, be a smarter football team, be better in the red zone, things like that, it'll lead to that. And so I just felt like, man, our team played with so much joy. Every single time they took the field, we threw an interception late in the game in the red zone, and our defense was leaping and cheering as they ran on the field together, like they were so excited to go back on the field. I remember thinking, man, that's what it should be. Our guys should just be joyful about playing. And I think we lost that for whatever reason. And hopefully, it's a lesson I'll never forget. And every week we just got to enjoy every single day. And hopefully that leads to our best football.
Well, Coach, this week, maybe with the exception of Washington, the team you're playing, Montana State, they're as good as it gets. That's a tough place to play up in Bozeman. But you do get national exposure. That's always fun. It'll be a late night Saturday night. What's your thoughts on this matchup with the Bobcats?
These guys are good. They are beating the living daylights out of everybody. So right now they seem pretty insurmountable. They just kind of beat everybody by 60 points every week. But I think the great thing is, man, we get to go up to Bozeman on national television, ESPN2. Unless you have YouTube TV, you should be able to watch us. I'll be ready to go. And, it'll be one of those great environments like last year. Went up to Montana. It'll be sold out. It'll be super loud. And man, if you want to win conferences, our goal every year is let's win the conference and let's beat our two rivals. And we still have a chance to do, both of our goals that we've set out to do. So, man, I think the exposure for our program, getting those gold UC Davis helmets on national television. We started the year on national television. End of the year, we're on national television. And I think that's just a great sign of where the program is heading. And you know what? We got nothing to lose. Let's go and play our best football. I believe that we are good enough, even with all of the things we've faced this year. I just think we've overcome so much adversity. Our team is so together that if we play our best football, I believe we can do anything. And I also believe if we play not good football, we can lose to anybody. So I just think for us, it's focusing on how well we can play. I told them that yesterday. I really don't care about how good the team is that we play or how bad the team is that we play. I just care about how well we play. And I hope that our guys can go up there and play together. But, man, these guys are number one in the conference in defense, number one in the conference in offense, and number one in the conference in special teams. So they're pretty good, guys.
Well, look, you never want to end on a serious note, but let's end on a serious note, Coach. It was 136 years ago, 4 days ago, that Montana was officially named a state. And there was a number of cities in Montana that competed for the right to be the state capital, including Bozeman. Helena ends up being the state capital, but as a consolation, the state legislature agreed to put the state's land-grant college in Bozeman. So Gallatin County donated 160 acres of farmland and some money, including a $1,500 donation, which was huge in the 1800s, from a rancher and businessman named Nelson Story Jr. This land and the money Nelson gave was used to establish Montana State. Fast forward a few years. In 2008, Story was inducted posthumously into the Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame as a founding legacy member. There were two people up for that position, Nelson Story and my dad. And Nelson Story was inducted. My dad was not. That was 17 years ago. I just saw him last night with my mom, came over for my son's 17th birthday dinner. He still hasn't gotten over it, Coach. So, look, I know you don't need extra motivation, but for an 83-year-old man, he's a sweet guy. He's a good dad. He's a great grandfather. Maybe just a little bit of get back this weekend for us if you could.
Boy, that was one of the longer, detailed stories we've had.
Yeah.
I mean, just I really, boy, you did your research, and I just think every week I just appreciate the added motivation that you supply this team.
Yeah.
We need it.
Yeah.
We are going to defend your father's honor.
Thank you.
And man, we're going to take our swings. And I'll just tell you guys this, man.
Yeah.
The Aggies are going to play well on Saturday.
Yep. That's all we ask. Go kick some ass, Seabass. Appreciate you, and we will talk to you next week. Have a safe trip, Coach.
Boys, let's find some joy this week. I'll see you on ESPN 2.
You got it,
Thank
brother.
you, Coach.
Unless we have YouTube TV.
Yeah.
We'll take a break, although I do think the ESPN app itself.
There you go.
I think.
Okay.
We'll take a break. When we come back, top of the hour, 3 for Madness. Nick Kurtz